How to heal eczema naturally. That's the topic we're going to be talking about today. So, what is eczema? It's basically this inflammatory skin condition. It can show up as red bumps, scaly skin, leathery, and sometimes it'll even leak some fluids. And conventionally, it's usually treated with like medications. So, topical oral steroids, antihistamines, or using different types of moisturizers and modifying like your environment, the types of things that you put on your skin. It doesn't always work though, so which is why it's a really popular question that people ask me about functional medicine, like what the heck's going on? What's the root cause to my eczema? Because yeah, changing these topicals and things helps a little bit, but I still have it. We're going to talk about that today. I'm Ashley Oswald. I'm a functional medicine dietitian and founder of Oswald Digestive Clinic, where we help people improve and eliminate bothersome gut issues like gas, bloat, diarrhea, constipation, and more. And if you're somebody you know wants to work with our clinic, just schedule a free call at the link below to get started. So let's dive right in and talk about how to heal eczema naturally. So in order to start with healing eczema, we need to talk about the possible root causes to eczema. So the first one is food intolerances and sensitivities. The second one, an unhealthy gut. The third one is inadequate fatty acid intake. The fourth one is micronutrient deficiencies. When don't we talk about that, right? And then the fifth one is personal care products. So let's start by talking about the food allergy and sensitivity conversation. So how do we know that this is connected to eczema? Well, because basically elimination reintroduction diets have been shown to help with eczema, as well as elemental diets. Elemental diets are this powder of really broken down food compounds. So protein broken all the way down to amino acids, and then carbs and fats the same to its smallest version, so that when you're drinking it, it's going to have as little of an effect on your all-over immune system, because it's going to be least likely to trigger an autoimmune reaction, which could be the root cause of your eczema. And then the most common food sensitivities with eczema include milk, wheat, eggs, and soy. So what I would suggest with this is cut it out for 4 to 6 weeks and see if you notice improvement. When you add it back in, is your eczema getting worse again? If you're going to do this with kids, 2 things that I want to talk about. The first thing is that kiddos with growing, they could be at risk for different nutrient deficiencies if you're cutting out whole food groups. So make sure if you find that it helps their eczema to really connect with a functional medicine dietitian to make sure they're not putting themselves at risk for micronutrient deficiencies down the road. And the second one is if you're going to be doing this, and if a kiddo has a really strong sensitivity to a food, it can be dangerous when you're reintroducing. So if it's like a severe eczema, it gets significantly better when the food gets cut out, and maybe you're like going on a trip and you're going to end up eating it. Be super careful. Like reintroduction, those cases should really be done under a trained medical provider. And then that's the same for like elemental diets. If someone's going to do a liquid elemental diet through like Integrative Therapeutics or something, there's a few good elemental formulas on the market. Reintroducing foods then after that could be a higher likelihood of triggering a more severe autoimmune reaction. Okay, so an unhealthy gut. Some things that have been tied to eczema include low stomach acid. Because if you think about it, this actually ties into food intolerances and sensitivities too, because the stomach's supposed to be very acidic to start that breakdown of food, so that by the time it gets to the small intestine, your body's not going to be reacting to it as much, because it's going to be partially broken down by that point. Also, histamine intolerance. So we talked a lot about this in that video about seasonal allergies. You can go back and watch that up here. But this could be contributing to eczema. So then you could use those foods that we talked about in that video to help to decrease histamines if that's the case. Celiac disease and eczema, there can be a connection there. And then also inadequate digestive enzymes, which that kind of goes hand in hand with inadequate stomach acid as well. And then low fatty acids. So fatty acid deficiency, there's some research showing that could be contributing to eczema, and it could be from malabsorption. So it could be stemming from the gut again. And research is really mixed on what type and how much. It's been researched everything with like flaxseed oil, cod liver oil, sunflower seed oil, fish oil. So it's really safe to just trial introducing more of this. And if you're finding that your stools are floating and really odorous, that's a sign of fat malabsorption and could be the root cause to why you're having a fatty acid deficiency if that's the case. So the next one we're going to talk about is micronutrient deficiencies. Micronutrients that have been shown to help with eczema include zinc, A. Effectiveness within just 2 months of supplementation. Careful with over supplementing or supplementing too long term because this could cause a copper deficiency. Also vitamin D, but the research is really around if you have a deficiency in it, which, you know, Minnesota, most people in winter months have a low level of vitamin D, so that could be helpful. B complex vitamins can be helpful for eczema, and then also vitamins A and E can help. So next, let's talk about products. So products in your day-to-day life that could be making eczema worse. I would really encourage you going to the Environmental Working Group's website to try to find products that might be better tolerated for your skin. So things from laundry detergent, lotion, shampoos, perfume, cleaning products, air fresheners can all be making eczema worse. So when you're shopping for these products, just try to read the ingredients, avoid anything with perfume in it, and the Environmental Working Group's database for clean products, you can find ones that are rated a green for more safer products. All right, and then some little bonus material. So prevention of eczema if you're pregnant. So the ways that you could prevent eczema in your kiddo is to A, breastfeed, and then B, if you have food sensitivities while you're pregnant, avoid them. And then C, fish oil supplementation during pregnancy has been shown to decrease the risk of eczema. Also, a fun little easy addition, fun tip for eczema is that oolong tea could help with eczema. It contains these polyphenols that could benefit the gut balance. So polyphenols can increase the growth of good bacteria, suppress the growth of bad bacteria. 4 cups a day for 6 months has been shown in the research to improve eczema. Now, it was only 21 participants, but really low risks. So what's worth the harm in trying? If you don't notice benefit after a few months, I wouldn't just keep doing it because teas can put you at risk for other micronutrient deficiencies as well. And of the 21 participants, 63% showed improvement in just 1 to 2 weeks. So I would even say that just after a few weeks, if you don't notice improvement, I wouldn't keep doing it for the concerns of how tea could deplete, that much tea, 4 cups a day, could deplete nutrients if you're drinking it throughout the day. So in conclusion, possible root causes: food sensitivities and intolerances, an unhealthy gut, inadequate fatty acid intake, micronutrient deficiencies, and personal care products. So I hope this video is helpful to you. If you haven't already, you can download our free guide, 5 ways to improve gut health and end food intolerances for good. And if you think when we talked about the unhealthy gut that really resonated with you, seems like maybe that could be your issue, download this free guide. I think it's going to really help you because I talk about all the different categories in functional medicine that you should really pay attention to and work to improve in effort to optimize your gut health. And then also, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of our new videos every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Thank you all. I hope this video is helpful and I hope you have a great rest of your day.